Login, late night, same chair, same spot. Screen glow, halo, chat's running hot. She flips to page 3, then dives off the plot. Let's talk about the Lizard Kings again. Tinfoil crown sitting proud on her head. Says it helps keep out the thought police thread. But she laughs so hard that it slips instead. Who walks past like, here we go, my friend. Welcome to Chatterbox. Hey! Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen, non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox. Asleep on the unread stack. Camera zooms in, chats typing in caps. Show us the cover, what's that in the back? She grins, it's classified, or maybe it's fresh. She's got red string charts that we can't quite see. Swears the plot twist lives on page 203. Then she stops mid-rant, did you hear that beep? It's just a follow ping, but we all lean in. Welcome to Chatterbox. Hey! Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen, non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox. Are we chasing our tails or the mother load? She says, think for yourself, that's the only law. Then Boo hits the mic with a perfect misbrew. Welcome to Digger's Chatterbox. Hey! Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen, non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox.
Because, you know. Hello. How is everyone? Where are we doing here? I think that one. Yeah, I think that one. Okay. That's on. Hi, everyone. Hello, everybody. How's it going? It is 4:00. It is Wednesday afternoon. It's chatting with chat. So, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. There's, always stuff in the world going on. I can pull up some stuff. And anything you guys want to talk about, you just throw it out there and we'll chat. Hello, Wild. Hello, Bishop. That was Bishop. Yes. Very much so. Okay, good. Making sure. You're not Penev, so it threw me. Hello, you guys. How's everyone doing? Mr. Q, good to see you. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. The girls were being really cute and almost annoying the last 20 minutes, half an hour or so. And now they're both laying down. So it's unfortunate because I lean on them for, getting the donations for the cute animals. And when they tire themselves out before the camera goes, it's, kind of hurts business. Hello, Darth. How you doing? Do a drive-by before Digger gets buried alive in chat, right? Yes. Get in early when I'm still there with you. Oh, my goodness. Considering I do a news show, in the morning, early afternoons. Um, I don't know that I've really looked at news other than what Johnny was able to find for the show, which was a lot, but we didn't cover a whole lot. So I feel like there probably hasn't been a whole lot of big news. I know they're reporting there was a near miss at JFK Airport with Air Canada and oh shoot, now I can't remember one of the Caribbean or maybe Mexican plane lines. So there was that. That was fun. Um, you guys are getting flooded, I guess, or you guys are getting tornadoed. It's out east in Ontario and Quebec are getting flooded right now. It's almost summertime here. It's unfortunate. I had the fan, the window open and the fan set up to suck the cold air in and stuff. But with the computer here, I can't leave it open, unfortunately, because I'm white anyways, and when I open that, it's like I'm glowing, and it's not good. So unfortunately, I had to close up shop. But what can you do? It's finally getting to be that time. I'm going to have to pull out my summer clothes. I get to change my bedroom around so I can put the fan in the window and that sort of thing. Oh, there's maybe Sweets will do something for you. She just pissed off Boo enough to move Boo. So there you go. News in Canada. There isn't news in Canada, silly. Well, yeah, not except for what the top brass want us to know. Dave will. Okay, now, yeah, Bishop David Wilcock, apparent suicide. Have we confirmed it's him? I mean, I think we've pretty much confirmed that whoever it was committed suicide right in front of the cops. But have we confirmed that it's actually him? Like, do we have, I hate to say it, but do we have video? The topics he covered on the topics, the stuff that he studied and researched for the government and not for the government and all the fun stuff with aliens. I wouldn't really think this except that there's all these nuclear scientists that have disappeared in the recent past, very recent past. So are we sure it was him? How sure are we that it was him? Or, can we be certain that he's not been whisked away with a bunch of spies and all the other scientists, missing scientists, to do something crazy in the dark with the deep state or something? But he's been kind of teetering for a very long time, has he not? He's the one that built himself a house in the woods, and then he started having the wild animals visiting. I'm pretty sure. Mr. Q is getting asked to choose between his cat and his girl, and getting in trouble from the cat because he chose the girl. If Canada crashed into Mexico at JFK, America wins. Yeah, no. It was the other airline's fault. Apparently, Air Canada had gotten the go ahead, the clearance, and was taking off, and this other one, something happened, and they couldn't do whatever it is they were supposed to do, and they adjusted quickly. So there was a near miss, but it wasn't us this time. It's summer today in Minnesota. It will be winter on Friday. Yeah. See, we're still hearing about weird. There's no snowpack at all this year. So even if we do get cold again, there's not going to be any snow. We're quickly marching from spring to summer. with no actual rain or anything, which is also not good. So I'm in my neck of the woods. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a very dry, very fiery summer. Um, but, that's par for the course. I live, as I've been told many times, um, where I live is the ghetto, and the ghetto never burns, just like downtown of the city has never burned. So I'm safe. Apparently, it's just anyone who lives on the outskirts or further from the town. They're the ones that get it. But it's never gotten in as far as the town. So, there's that. Hello, Buck. How you doing? Wild's been avoiding the news. Too depressing. Yeah, yeah, it's just, I don't know. We have so much fun looking up stories, but then we never cover any of it, and I never remember it. Um, been digging into the orphan trains, and the creator of the foster care system dies. Oh, okay. Interesting. Orphan trains from World War II. This week in Michigan, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter. Yes, the outskirts. Did I say outskirts? I live downtown. They live on the outskirts. Oh, maybe it is. I'm already tan from the waist up. There's only one person who sees anything else. Ah, well, there you go. So it doesn't matter that it's like glaringly white. That's one of the things. I don't smoke, so I don't go out onto the deck and soak up sun multiple times a day. So I'm gonna have to plan it into my daily routine to go and stand out in the sunshine in the yard. Um, I was doing that last summer anyways, just 15 minutes looking at the sun. Well, not looking, but in front of the sun, and then turn around for 15 minutes on the back. I felt a lot better. I guess I'm gonna have to do that again. But it's already that time. I've got um, seeds that I should have started, but I'm such a procrastinator, and now I've got all this space. I'm so excited, but I'm also a little bit intimidated. So I'm not sure which way to plant what, like where to plant everything. So I'm kind of so many options that I'm just fritzing out and not choosing anything. But I've suddenly got all of the garden area. The neighbors that I shared it with are moving, so they had first choice on garden area, and they got the all sun all the time. So now I've actually got a raised garden to use, as well as a garden bed in the ground that gets full sun. So yeah, I'm very much excited about this. This is going to be a fun this is going to be a plentiful or a fruitful summer. But I got to get off my ass and stop, hesitating with indecision. I've got to actually do it. Maybe they eliminated him because Trump was saying he's going to release the alien files. Maybe he would have disputed what they released. Maybe. I heard rumors that Trump was trying to push the button on nuclear bombs, and the his people actually stopped him from doing it. Let me see here. Yeah, apparently, allegedly, Trump has gone a little power mad, and is trying to do things that he's not actually got the right to do. Um, where is it? Yeah, Trump was trying to use nuclear weapons in Iran, and the nuclear chief was just relieved of his duties and escorted out of the Pentagon for insubordination. but everything seems like it could be bullshit at this point. So a few weeks ago, someone else had heard that Trump had fired a bunch of generals. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of rumors going around. Um, but yeah, I haven't seen anything. I've seen it fact checked fake and then someone else doing breaking news. It's true. So um attempted to access nuclear codes but was blocked by General Dan Kane, according to former CIA analyst Larry Johnson. So, and that was coming up yesterday. So, allegedly, apparently, Trump could or could not be trying to pull that nuclear option for reasons unknown. Um, I'm hoping that that's all just stupid chatter because people are, everyone likes to stir up drama, but I'm really hoping um I'm really hoping he's not actually nuclearing. Yeah, there you go. Done a little bit does the body good, right? And it's really nice out in the yard. It's this big patch of grass that rarely gets used. Occasionally, someone who lives here has family to visit, and you can set up in the big yard. But for the most part, it's empty. And I remember last year standing there, and it was really nice. It felt really nice, and I know my mood was more upbeat. But especially because I'm not going outside every hour or so for a cigarette anymore. I need to make a point of um, planning it. Mr. Q is planting carrots next week. Okay. Yeah, see, if you're planting carrots next week, I should already have stuff in the ground. But the place that I shop, that I buy my plants from, I don't think they're open yet. I don't think they're open until Mother's Day weekend. Got the alfalfa done and we'll be doing corn right after carrots. All right. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Buck. Please don't. Yeah, don't forget to do all the YouTube things. I appreciate the heck out of you. I was looking at that the other day. I'm at like 300 subs. So that's really cool. I didn't realize I'd gotten up there. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate you all subbing and liking and all doing all of this stuff because it actually helps. I think the fire generals is because Trump, Israel, yeah, wants to actually I at the wrong place because Trump, Israel wants to send troops in Iran. Okay. See, I'm confused because from what I'm hearing, um, it sounds to me from the news that I'm hearing like Trump is really trying to get a ceasefire and get this settled. But every time he and Iran agree to something, Israel says, yeah, sure. But then they keep attacking anyways. So is Trump like actually making a point of trying to end this, or is he just going right along with Netanyahu or Bibi or whatever? Because um I don't know what to believe with my news media. It's I doubt anything that they say. It's funny they keep um news feeds like global news and CBC and the national stuff will have these articles about 60% or 86% or whoever large percent of Canadians like what Carney's doing and would like him to continue. But as soon as you look in the comments, um, everyone is saying the exact opposite. There's not a single, like they don't even put bots in there to pretend to be yay Carney. They don't even bother to do that. It's every single comment is people saying they're not happy about whatever, the article was written about. They don't like what's going on in Canada. They don't want it to continue. And so I don't know. I don't know that what they're telling us is necessarily true anymore. Um, it's kind of nice to know you guys and be able to hear from other people, like actually in those locations, and find out what you guys are actually seeing. Because a lot of the stuff that's happening in Canada, I'm not really seeing here in BC, but then I'm in rural BC and everything happens here last. We're the last ones to really, and we're pretty liberal, and the coast is pretty much zipped up or sewn up tight with the socialist agenda that they don't really worry about us too much. So, hello, Lass, how you doing? I read on X earlier today that another scientist had died on a plane crash in South Carolina. So does that make it 11 or 12? Because I had heard there was 11 yesterday, but then we couldn't find anything, or what he found was 10 so far. But either which way, that's a lot of, that's a lot of scientists, nuclear scientists, nuclear physicists and scientists studying and working on projects for, the government. That's an awful lot of them to die in one way or another in such a short amount of time. It really does feel like there's something more nefarious going on in the background. But again, I have no proof of that, but it sure feels like there's something more to it. It sure feels like there's something more to it. I think the plans are on the fast track now, I think. So Mr. Q saying, I think it's funny the political beliefs that I had 20 years ago, people are just now starting to come around to. See, and that's the thing. My political beliefs have always been pretty much the same. And yet I used to be considered, or I used to be called a liberal. And with my same belief system, now I am like an ultra conservative. And it's weird because I haven't really changed my belief system from when I was 20 and my belief system now. It's pretty much the same. Live and let live. Let's get rid of any corruption that we can. Do what's best for the people. Keep the land clean. I mean, it's, other than that, I've never had a problem with the police officers arresting people who are breaking the law, and for the Crown to prosecute those people and actually send them to jail. I'm cool with that happening. Apparently now, if I like that outcome, I'm an alt-right, ultra-conservative wingnut. So I don't know. I haven't changed, but the what do they say? The goalposts have sure moved. Mr. Q, Alberta Independence, baby, do it. Again, I've looked at the questions that they're going to ask, like now that they've got the signatures and they can do the referendum and that. It's not even, it's really not what people think it is. It's really not. It's basically giving them the right to question other provinces about their opinion on what the federal government is doing. It doesn't actually give them any rights to say no to a federal mandate. They're not giving themselves the power to say no to the federal government if it requests something that Albertans don't want. It's just giving them legal authority to bitch with the other province leaders. about what the evil federal government's doing. It isn't really independence. It it's not what it people have made it out to be. It's really not. And it's taken years to get to this point. Um, I keep saying I would love to see, the country of Western Canada, the new country of Western Canada. I think that would be lovely if we took care of ourselves, and the East could take care of themselves. I think that would be lovely. I think life would be a lot better for everyone. And unfortunately, that makes me a radical. So, yeah, I don't know who's running this war show, but all the people I know who voted for Trump are mad, feeling betrayed, and have changed their opinion of Israel. Yeah, because everything he said he'd do, either he said knowing he couldn't do it, that it would be held up elsewhere, or he's just outright not doing. Um, he's worked with Israel for a very long time, long before he became president. So yeah, I it's interesting that suddenly everyone is on board the all Jews are evil and they all control the world. Um, Mainstream people are starting to say these things at the same time that, in my opinion and from my perspective, the Catholic Church is taking overall control of this rollout of the New World Order. But I should just have left this one on. But that's my opinion. It's all my opinion, and you got to do your own research, because you may not agree with my outcoming decisions or understandings. Okay, we might see the same thing and understand it completely different ways. So do your own research. But from what I can see, and from all the stuff that I know, it looks like the Catholic Church, or more importantly, the Pope, um, is taking control of the New World Order roll in, or roll out. So it's interesting that just as the Catholics are starting to take control, suddenly people are allowed to say, or the masses are allowed to start saying stuff about the Jews. It's very interesting. But I believe my opinion, I believe there's between 13 and 15 factions that have been working towards this new world order, for like thousands of years at this point. So, that's my opinion. Do your own research. Hello, Johnny Kramer, the music movie. Tinfoil hat, I have a few, so they help me. Right? I have to put it on so that people, don't think I necessarily believe the things that I'm speaking of. But I do really enjoy uh, going down those rabbit holes and looking at devil's advocating these situations. And sometimes people think that my thoughts my thought puzzle is my actual beliefs, and so I have to clarify. Could be cleaning house. Dems are pushing ideas from 1930s Germany, and left groups doing the stuff as brown shirts. They destroyed the education system in Germany, and it's almost completely here, right? um Honestly, yeah, I think the Western countries, even you guys who were never under the rule of the crown, but I think Western countries have each been given a slightly different um, set of tests or parameters, situations that they have to roll out and how they're supposed to handle it. Um, as a way to see what works best against the populace. And I think every Western country is going after the same end result, but they're all going at it from different ways to see what controls us the best. And I think that the highlighting the craziness of the left, um, I think it's finally being seen, and I think at the end of the day, we're just coming back. we're starting to swing back the other way. But it took us a long, long time to get here. Hey, Outpost Nerd, how you doing? Wrong. Okay. Every president has worked with Israel. That's what being allies are about. Okay, well, no, I'm talking about the nefarious New World Order, Rothschild banking cartel working with Israel, not allies in NATO and helping each other out. Sort of. There's helping and there's helping. And every president has gone and kissed the wall. They've all kissed the ring as well. It's it is what it is. They're all equally dirty, and they're all owned by someone. Different factions, but they've all got their strings being pulled by someone. So the Pope is really doing a lot of stuff that I really did not expect. Very, very surprising moves. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I mean, anything can happen now. The monarch of England has basically stepped down from their position as the sole conduit between the populace and God. He's just decided to abdicate. That's it. He's abdicating his position as the sole voice between his people and God. So if he can do that, the Pope here is going nuts. While the stuff he's doing is pretty surprising, I guess we should expect it. Right? Like the whole world is just going nuts. Things are happening that we used to joke would never happen. The Pope he's not being the Pope that we expected. We are reserving you better after you put your tinfoil hat on, so keep talking. I'm listening. They have said stuff about the Jews for thousands of years. Yeah, but no, right now the masses are being allowed to say it with less recourse, or at least that's what I'm noticing. There's a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews," right, and not getting in trouble for it. At least here in North America, I know in the UK they're going in a different direction when it comes to the censorship, in putting the censorship in place. True. With the tinfoil hat on, we can pick you up on 1360 AM. Good. So I think one thing, Dig, and I believe in I enjoy digging into the different conspiracies and the different things, and I like looking at it from all aspects. I enjoy playing devil's advocate and thinking, well, if this is the truth, what would I do? How would I do it? I've decided what I believe, which, like I said, I think there's between 13 and 15 factions that have been working towards the New World Order for thousands of years, not hundreds, but thousands of years. And I think we're just at the end days. We're at the end of it all. That's what I think. I don't think it's all Jews. I don't think, like I was saying, it looks to me like the leaders of the New World Order are kind of changing guard right now, and it looks to me like the Catholic Church is coming into control of the plan of rolling out the New World Order. I think the different factions work together towards the same end result, but they also have the infighting amongst each other, because they all think that they're the ones who should be on top and be in control and be running it and be number one. So there's the infighting there. And because we're at the end of the plan, we're going to see more and more infighting amongst those factions. And I think right now we're seeing a changing of the guard. So Compared to who would have been in the White House, who could have been in the White House, I would vote for Trump again. I don't regret voting for him. Yeah, honestly, even seeing everything that Trump did, or rather didn't do, said he'd do, but didn't do, I think the world is in a better position with him at the helm than it ever would be with cackling Kamala. She would be dangerous because she'll just do whatever. Very much like Trudeau, just do whatever her paymasters tell her to do, and laugh all the way to the bank, and light a cigar off the flames that was her country. So I think even with Trump not doing what he's you know, um, doing what he's supposed to do or what he said he'd do, he's still the better bet, the safer bet. It's got us another 4 years. I mean, Canada's locked in now until 2029 is the earliest an election will be forced to be called. And that gives Carney, now that he's bought or threatened all the people, all the MPs into trading over to crossing the floor and becoming liberals, that gives him more than enough years to set up the digital IDs and the digital currency and the universal income and all of that fun stuff. So by the time the next election comes through, it won't be an election, in my opinion. Trump is owned. A billionaire is being paid off. You can own a person with stuff other than money. You can have all the money in the world, and someone can still have control over you with using other things. My opinion, the Pope position was taken over when they made that one retire. When you become Pope, the position is for life. Death is the only way out, and they made him retire for health reasons. Which one did they make retire? The last one, the first Jesuit Pope, the one that was supposed to herald the end times. I can't remember his name now, but the Pope before the American one. I thought he died. Did they retire him instead? I didn't know that. That's another thing. I thought I was really waiting for the end times to roll out with that last one because he was the first Jesuit priest, and there's supposed to be all sorts of prophecies about that, or first Jesuit Pope, and there were all sorts of prophecies allegedly about that. So current Pope is false leader, pushing false truths and leading lambs from the true Holy Land. Yeah, it's like the way he quoted one half of one line that Jesus said, and then went off on this whole thing talking about except when it's used against God or against another's religion or whatever. I can't even remember what it was now, but either which way, he goes off on what they're calling a homily, but it has absolutely nothing to do with what Jesus was talking about, the line that he was quoting. Hello, Raiders. Thank you so much. Robert Gouveia and your Raiders, thank you so much. You're welcome here. This is Chat's Choice on Wednesdays. Hello, Neuro and Izzy. This Chat's Choice Wednesday. So we talk about whatever you guys in the chat want to talk about. Right now, we're kind of talking about, what's going on in the world and some of the different conspiracy theories that are out there, true or false, whether we believe them or not. And that's kind of what I do. I like to look at all the different angles on a thing. Doesn't necessarily mean I believe them, but I like to look at them all. And so I'm giving my tinfoil hat quite the workout right now, today. Didn't die for like 9 years after he retired. Okay, so that's not the most recent Pope then. With Jesus dying on the cross, I don't need a human go between me and the throne. Well, see, and yeah, because we're able to read the Bible, we have access to it. We understand that, we know that, but the way the C of E was created was because Henry VIII wanted a divorce and the Pope wouldn't give it to him. So he created the C of E gave himself the divorce, and basically put himself in the position of Pope. So it's Catholicism, only instead of following the Pope in Rome, they follow, the monarch in charge of England, right? So Queen Elizabeth II, for all of her reign, was considered the conduit. She's the go-between. So I don't know how much how well that played out in modern day, but that's how it was set up to be. I don't know how much control or power the Queen, or now Prince Charles, had. I don't know if the people in the C of E still believe that way, that the only way to talk to God is through the monarch. I don't know. It may be totally different now. It's modern days. So, but that's how it was set up. Do you know Jews were blamed by the church and masses for the Black Plague? Jews were clean, and that saved them from the plague, and so they were blamed for it. Yeah, I'm sure I knew that. See, Outpost Nerd, we don't hang out as much, so I don't know if you know. I've got memory issues. I've got health issues, and my memory is basically Swiss cheese. So I'll remember some facts, but not other facts. And it's very much like, well, when it comes to movies, it's like 50 First Dates. I can watch the movie and then not remember a thing about it the next day. That sort of thing. Facts that I've known forever, because I learn new facts. The old facts get pushed out and I forget. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it was exactly that. It was because they were so clean. But I think they tried to blame the Black Plague on multiple different sources. Hello, Slidey Pie, by the way. Yeah. So I'll try and be on top of that more. When I'm talking about something that I don't necessarily believe, I'll put the hat on. It's the robots, John, right? Castro's son, yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's 50-50. He sure should look like him, but from my understanding, he's as flaming as his father, so as Trudeau Sr. So either way. Don't forget about the unaliving panels up. Well, no. Robert's rated the stream 2 popes ago. Okay. So the one before. Why can I not remember his name now? The one before the last one. Okay. Saying hi to the Raiders. Pope John Paul II. You think? Okay. Hello, Bry Guy. Good to see you. I don't know his Pope name. Okay, Ratzinger. Okay. No, Pope Benedict the 16th was the one to resign. Okay. I'm assuming you looked it up. And thank you, Neurodivergent One. Please do, you guys, go over and check out, if you haven't already, if you're not already. Great source for news. Great insight on the different things that are going on. So yeah, definitely go check him out and sub to him. And again, I appreciate the heck out of the raid. That's awesome. His real name was Ratzinger. I don't know what his Pope name was. There you go. Yeah. Just posted it. And yes, my understanding, the current Pope is the prophecy that will be the last Pope in the end of Christianity. Okay. See, yeah, I had thought, well, I don't know whether I believed it or not, but from what I'd researched, a lot of people were sure it was going to be the first Jesuit Pope. That was the prophetic Pope, the one to start the end of days. Hello, Atomic Ray. How you doing? Kino Casino is going to be on tonight. Good, good. How are they doing? They're getting flagged. Are the flags sticking? Are they not allowed on YouTubes or anything like that? I know that the quartering has been just flailing, um, which is not good. It's never good when you start to flail on the internet. Try to keep your flailing to your private IRL. Minimize the damage, haven't we learned from others? But either which way, he seems to be kind of losing it at the moment. Um, but I haven't really heard how the Kino has been affected. I've heard how they're reacting to it, but I don't know if they've actually been affected by these flags and whatnot. Hello, Tweety Logic. Poor Alex Jones, they broke him. I fear. I will pray for him some more. I don't know. I have faith. I think Alex Jones is going to be just fine. Just fine. But yeah, it should be an interesting show for sure. The Kino one. They're on Kick, right? Yeah, only on Kick. Okay. And Tweety Logic, yeah, good to see you. My tism makes it hard for me to forget, right? And my brain is the exact opposite. Things will go in and they'll fall right out. One of the favorite episodes that I ever had from Married with Children, it was great, and I love it because it was a joke between me and my brother and my dad. I guess Kelly got herself onto a game show where you had to know facts. And in that same episode, they found out that Kelly's brain could only hold X number of facts. And once you filled that, for every new fact that went in, she'd lose the oldest fact she knew. And at the end of the show, the final question to win it all was who had done the however many yards throw in during the game. And the answer was, of course, Al Bundy. That's the one claim to fame that he ever had. He thought, that's it. She has to know this, but because it was the oldest fact that she knew, she forgot it to learn something else, to memorize something else. So she lost on the game show. And that's kind of how my brain works. You throw stuff in and other stuff just disappears. If I haven't been studying on a specific subject, like deep diving into it, the facts kind of disappear or meld together, which makes things fun. Hello, Jacob Castro. I think I said that already. Sup, savages. Let's see. Mr. Q's back, at least for a little bit. Dealing with the fire department and DNR calls. Are you seriously worried or dealing with forest fire right now? I saw you mention something about fire. But like you said, it was winter, now it's summer, and it'll be winter a couple days from now. How are you dealing with fire? I sure hope it's not the farm itself. Not Pope John Paul. It was the other one, the 16th. See, and we just said it. Benedict. Yeah, Pope Benedict. Hello, Memento Mori. Good to see you. How you doing? Christianity will survive the Pope. Many do not care what a guy in a big hat on the other side of the world says from behind his walls that were built to fight invaders. Well, and that, if you go from that route, it's makes sense, or it leans towards the theory that this American Pope will be the one to bring about the end times. I don't know that Christianity is going to die. Yeah, Tweety Logic is, I remember reading that out, but Christianity is not going anywhere. It's not going to die. At the end, there may be a lot fewer Christians alive. There might be mostly sinners and devils and demons and all the good stuff. That's the saying, but that doesn't seem like the right term. So Christianity will be around. The Catholic Church may fall. a lot of things may fall, but not Christianity. Murphy's Law, yeah. I love that name, Murphy's Law. That's, that's one of the main ruling laws in my life. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So the casino streams on Kick. They they are banned from YouTube. Okay. From what I understand, Rumble, the guy on Rumble, Chris whatever, said he was staying out of it in a tweet. He might have changed his mind, but from what I understood, he said Rumble's staying out of it. Yeah. Okay, if they tried to start a channel on Rumble. Okay, so they aren't even on Rumble. They're just on Kick and YouTube. Gotcha. Gotcha. Talk about a fall from grace. Jeremy always sucks, but boy almighty, how the mighty have fallen. Well, it's very much like Ricada, right? Put themselves up as one thing and built up a following and a group of people and all enjoyed hanging out together, and then suddenly real life bashes through your internet persona, and yeah, and it really sucks. So we saw what happened with Ricada. Seems as though Aaron's bounced back a lot better. Just yeah, from what I've seen, it looks like Aaron's bounced back better than Nick, but what do I know? And now, yeah, Jeremy is just blowing himself up, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, you know. Alex has another network all set up. You can find Alex on Rumble as well. I mod a room that shows him. See, yeah, Murphy's Law. Thank you. I figured as much. Alex had found another way to broadcast when he realized he wasn't going to have InfoWars anymore. I don't think the fact. I mean, I think the fact that the Onion got it, that might hurt, might sting a little bit, but it's better than the people, the conglomerate with the people involved in Sandy Hook getting it. Him and Tim Pool going down and down. Is Tim Pool going down right now too? He seemed to kind of well, in my opinion, Tim Pool is a name dropping fence sitter. So I figured he was doing what he always does and just kind of floating in the background. I heard a clip of him discussing Jeremy melting down. But I haven't heard much about him, so I just assumed he was sitting in the background watching the shit go down like normal. Okay, Tim Pool is still going strong. That's what I thought. Candy Ass Owens, who has gone to hell, she's gone right out there. I could believe some of the stuff she said, but other stuff is so wild and insane that it puts everything into a negative light. And I don't know why she's shooting her own career in the foot like that. She's ruining her own credibility, and I'm not sure why she's doing it. But, all the best to her. 10 channels on Rumble that stream him, which ensures he gets seen. Okay. Well, and then he's even got he's got that Chicken Town or Chicken Land or whatever occasionally comes on, and that's a 24/7 live stream, is it not? So pardon me. Or are you talking about, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Tim Pool. You're talking about Alex. Sorry. Yeah, Alex was always around. But I knew there was something weird about him when he was invited to Bohemian Grove, and he was able to bring in cameras and voice recorders. Like, he's one of them if he's able to just walk in. like that. I remember Married with Children episode. They show them at the table revealing each other's inner thoughts. Yes, and they pan to Kelly and hers is Bowinkle talking. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm not going to do his voice. I'm not going to do his voice, but I liked Bullwinkle because he's a moose. So that automatically wins points with me. Alex during the day and late nights, and then Mega Kitten Ultra shows movies and stuff in the evening. Okay, that's interesting. So Mega Kitten Ultra, if you're interested in looking at Alex stuff during the day and late nights, or movies and stuff in the evening, go check her out. Mega Kitten Ultra. I really hope that's a she. Oh yeah, she shows movies. Okay, good. As soon as I said go check her out, I'm like, oh crap, there's another guy that I'm going to call a girl. Prioritize. I've been a dick for a long time. Well, there you go. Own it. I congratulate you, right? People think that all Christians are Catholics when that's not the case at all, right? And I mean, they think that Protestant is a different thing, but anything that is not Catholic, that is Christian following Jesus, but that isn't Catholic, is Protestant. It all stems off the Reformation, the Protestant movement. And it's funny because for a very long time, for many years, I worship with the Seventh-day Adventists, and the Seventh-day Sabbath, sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. So many people think that's wild and crazy, and you don't see that in Christianity. And yet, Seventh-day Adventists weren't the first. There were Seventh-day Baptists long before the SDA Church became a thing. So the celebrating the Sabbath on the seventh day isn't a new thing to the Protestant religions. It's just one of the things that's been, dropped by some and held on to by others. And again, you've got to make your own decision, what you believe and what you want to follow. So there's wildfires in Bluegrass and Lyons Township. Oh, trying to help with equipment, lent a trailer and plowed 8 miles away to make a fire break. Yeah. Well, shit. Good luck with that. I'll pray for you guys. Yeah, I didn't realize that you would be dealing with that yet. We haven't had our first fire yet. It's coming. The Canadian government nor any of the provinces thought it would be a good idea to buy a new bomber before fire season. So we're going back out there with the same equipment as we've had for years, which is just not enough. And it's been such a dry winter. And so far, a very dry spring. There's not going to be, there's not much of a snowpack to melt. So it's definitely going to be a fiery one this year. Pope Benedict longer. That's right. Benedict longer. Okay. Benedict for a long time, but Pope Benedict longer. I love it. I'm the living, breathing Murphy's Law too. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And how do you deal with it? And I think at the end of the day, that's what God is looking at us for. We have the free will to choose Him or not. And yeah, he's. I think when He's looking at us, He's not necessarily looking at us going, "Oh, you did this wrong and you did that wrong," but I think He's looking at us and going, "Well, this is the shit that you had and had to deal with. This is your hardships. How well did you deal with it? How well did you manage it?" I think that's more the sort of thing that He's looking at. If Crispy gets involved, that would be a huge mistake in my opinion. Right. And that's Pavlovsky, is that the right one? I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's just saying, yeah, you know, I want nothing to do with this. You guys do what you want to do, and we're out of it. And I think that's the smartest thing he could do. Um, they claim to be the only censorship free platform, and they're not censorship free. They're not, but they're the closest I've found. Um, and his best bet, especially right now, is to just keep out of it. It just drives more people to his platform. They see that he's being an impartial ruler, I guess. like Elon is a mostly impartial ruler on X. The sun is going down for Murphy's Law. Yeah, the sun will still be up for a couple more hours here. 2-3 more hours. Yeah. I keep talking to people on the other side of the country or, East Coast, you guys, and they're 3 hours ahead. And so they're, wanting to go to bed, and it's still sunshiny and hot, could go out and sit in the sun with the neighbors when everyone else is going to bed for the night. It's very, very strange. I don't watch any of them, says Lass. Tried to watch Jeremy, but he couldn't read and boring. I never liked the guy in the beanie. And I watched Candace when she started her YouTube, but she can't read and pronounce words correctly. Fair enough. I used to watch Jeremy only because he did the 10-minute or 15-minute, the quick download of whatever situation. So he was able to give me quick downloads about multiple different situations each day, and that was cool. But he's just gotten he's gotten so political, and then again he's set himself up as one thing, and yet it's come out now that he's a totally different thing. And if you're going to do this, if you're going to be on here, no matter how big or small you are, you gotta be honest, because if you're not, it will be found out. You will be found out, and they will kill you for the smallest thing. Like I try to be very careful. If I say something and someone calls me out and says that's wrong, and I see that I'm wrong, I'm totally cool with saying, yeah, okay, I'm wrong. I usually am. The fog in my brain and the holes in the sieve that it is, more often than not, I probably am wrong. So just tell me, and that's great. But you can't build yourself a persona and be someone completely different in real life, because it's gonna come out. The truth will out. Not like Nick, in my opinion. Nick was sick and had to get a dose of reality. The quarter pounder lied about what he was. Okay. Nick is a simple case of getting a lot and going crazy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For him, it was he's gotten so much popularity and notoriety. Gotcha. And quarter pounder is lying about who he is. Again, and I don't know, because I don't really watch. You moderate for Ricada and Jeremy. There you go. Yeah, see, I don't really watch either. I have stopped watching Ricada long before the Ricada steel toe thing ever happened. I just stopped watching him. He introduced me to Legal Vices and Aussie Overlord, and I didn't need to go to him for cases anymore, because I had Jeff and Hayden. So it's been a very long time since I saw Nick. And again, with Jeremy, I just watch his clips because he usually has a good download, but it seems like lately he has been the news rather than the person bringing the news. So hello, Mild. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome everyone from Mild's channel. Good to see you. We are here. We're chatting about whatever folks in chat want to talk about. So money doesn't change you. It just gives you the freedom to show who you really are. Both are sick people, and I have no respect for them. Well, I think both of them are just, yeah. Everyone has ups and downs in their lives, and it's just unfortunate that they're both now having downs that have to play out on the internet. Is the thing. It's unfortunate that they have to go through that, you know? Um it's hard enough when shit goes down in real life. It must be a million times harder when there's thousands or, millions of people watching it happen and all having their own opinion on what's happening. I'm sure that's not very easy. Not very easy. So like, yeah, that's like I was saying, I tried to be as authentic as possible because I'm there's for me, it doesn't make any sense to build up a persona. I mean, obviously I've got a bit of a mask. I you know, I'm the happy go lucky. I'm not always this cheerful and like real life happens and I've got days where I'm miserable and or upset or what have you. So there's a bit of a persona, I guess, but it's not the same like putting yourself up as one thing and being something totally different. That's a little bit harder. Because it's going to come out. It's unfortunate. He will be the Alex Jones Network, and he will be the news producer. There you go. Okay. My take, it's way around his troubles, and he will still own it. Keep away. Okay. Keep away is the name of the game. See, and that's kind of what I figured. It can be named after him or whatever, but he can't be the controller. He can't be, the man at the top. He can't have his name on it. Otherwise they'll come after it. So yeah, he'll be fine. His family will be fine. Alex, oops, sorry, boo. Sorry. Waggling my feet and I accidentally kicked the cat. So yeah, I'm sure Alex Jones will be a-okay. Tim Pool stuck up for the married girl. That's on what pop culture podcast thing? Married girl? And now he's in deep shit because he said men shouldn't take care of children. Oh, what married girl? I don't stuck up for a married girl. I don't watch the whatever podcast and that sort of stuff. I don't watch it. And I don't watch Tim Pool. So yeah, I don't know at all what he's doing. I just assumed he's doing, sitting on the fence because that's what he does so well. He's gone on the attack against Candace after someone shot at his home. Someone shot at his home. Holy shit. See, I didn't hear that. And so now he's going after Candace. Okay. See, there's always drama going on. It doesn't matter where in the internet YouTube universe you are. There is drama in those areas. There always will be. Shit comes out. Things get said. So it's easier to just try and be yourself. That being said, I am very much a TMI sort of person too. So he has some lawsuits of his own against these creeps. Hopes he wins too. Honestly, yeah. In the case when it comes to Sandy Hook, yeah, it's way overboard and out of line, and I hope he gets a little bit of justice back, a little bit of something back. I mean, it's not going to be monetary or anything, and I still think he's the paid opposition. I think he's totally one of them. Some faction of the elites are, in my opinion, pulling Alex Jones's strings just like they pull everyone else's who have any positions of power. That being said, I really don't like how the Sandy Hook thing went down. I believe that was his first time of trying to buck against. My opinion, I think that was the first time he ever tried to buck against his puppet masters, his paymasters. That's the first time he tried to stand up and tell the truth against what they wanted him to. And this is the lesson that they've taught him that happens when he tries to do something alternate to what they want him to do. So I think he's going to be fine from now on, but I also don't think he's going to do anything else anymore, because every time he tries to speak out or mention something that shouldn't be talked about yet, Sandy Hook comes up again, and he gets again. So, in my opinion, what that Mary girl from Pop Culture Crisis said was enough to even piss me off. My kid told me about it. What did she say? I have no idea what you're talking about. Please fill me in. Prioritize. Trump was in the wrong when he said Bridget Macron looks better than Candace. Whoa, Trump said that? Dude. No one can say that. That's empirically untrue. Oh, Alex Jones has got streamers on Kick as well, a few of them. Okay. I get lost with all these platforms. I know. I only just started streaming to Twitch, only because it's a morning news show to me. It's an afternoon news show for Johnny, who is my co-host, for those of you that don't know. Just Kidding LLC on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. I am co-host there 3, sometimes 4 days a week. And, we talk about all the different things, and he gets to do these things called hype trains, and people drop stickers and that have sound effects, and it's a whole lot of fun. So I've started streaming to Twitch, and at some point I will figure out how to set all that stuff up so that I too can allow you guys the fun of, jump scaring me while I'm talking and stuff like that, telling me to F off, because it's a lot of fun when they do it on the Game Over podcast. It's a lot of fun when we do that. So yeah, I'm streaming over there now, but there's just so many, you don't know where to, and you can stream. You can only stream to so many and keep track of so many different chats, right? Like it's very hard. Candace went the David Icke route. Sound intelligent, and then boom, lizard people. Okay, now that I'm seeing David Icke, I might be mixing up David Icke and the guy, David Wilcock, the guy that allegedly offed himself. Yeah, David Wilcock. Nonfiction exploring news. Okay. Yeah, no. I've got the right person. I'm thinking of the right person. Whew, good. Yes, with the blonde. Yes. Okay. Good. For a second there, I thought, oh no, I'm thinking of David Icke. But yeah, he worked at Area 51, David Icke, right? And then came out and suddenly started saying all sorts of weird stuff. 4 college kids snuck in a few years ago as well. Snuck in where? Just on the different platforms, you mean? Yes, they do worship an owl. And from all accounts, it's a pretty gay event. Who was that? Nixon, I think, said that. They're all pretty gay, something along those lines. So, there's that. Catholics follow Mary more than they follow Jesus. Okay. See, again, I don't know more than the historical factual information that's out there. I don't know a whole lot about Catholicism. My dad was raised Roman Catholic and thought God hated everyone and wanted nothing to do with God until he was in his 40s, and he started to learn about Jesus and God through Jesus and that sort of thing. So I don't know a whole lot about how the Catholics believe and that sort of thing. I know that the Catholic, like the Pope decided to change God's Sabbath from the seventh day, which is sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, to the first day of the week, which is sundown Saturday to sundown Sunday, because Sunday is the day that Jesus rose. So they got together and they agreed that they're going to switch the Sabbath to the Sunday to celebrate the day that Jesus rose. My problem is, who's got the say in what day God's Sabbath is on? Does God say what day Sabbath is on, or does the Pope say what day the Sabbath is on? And from my perspective, I would rather go to church on the day that God told me to go to and not worry about what some Pope decided was going to be okay. But that's my own opinion. And if you're a Catholic and you believe that the seventh day is right, and you that's fine, and you're right to that opinion, and I might very well be totally wrong. God may not care at all about what day we serve on the Sabbath, or what day we use as the Sabbath. He may not care at all. My understanding is the seventh day. And so if you're Catholic and your understanding is this, as the Sunday is the Sabbath now, good for you. I'm not picking a fight. I'm not picking a fight. And that's the thing too. Christianity, we agree on so much. It's just little things that we differ on. There are a whole different sects of Protestantism that have formed over the placement of a single comma somewhere in the book of John. I can't remember the exact verse, but it's hard because the original Aramaic, they don't use punctuation. It's not a thing at all. And so when writing the King James and translating it to English and all that, someone decided to put the comma in one place, and other people think the comma should be in another place, and it caused such a break in beliefs, because it does. The changing of the comma from before or after that one word really does change the meaning, and that's caused a huge break between different church members. So we don't really we shouldn't be fighting each other. We should just be trying to serve God. I find it a little bit tiring to keep nitpicking about what day is the Sabbath day, and if you want to ask and talk about it, we can talk about it, but we argue about these little things when we should be all getting ready for him to come back, because it's happening soon. Look at the world. The world literally is falling to shit. There is no way we can stop the New World Order. It's just impossible. And they know it. That's why they're telling us the truth. They're saying out loud the stuff that they used to hide from us. So we're headed there. And instead of fighting about where a comma should be or what day we should worship, we should all just get together and share Jesus to those people who haven't heard about him, haven't learned about him. Give them that chance. We have helicopters taking water out of our irrigation ponds as we speak. Yeah. See, that's the nice thing. I live in forest fire zone, but it's also the land of lakes. And just the Okanagan Lake is so huge and vast. They could scoop out of the lake all summer long, and they usually do, and it doesn't phase the lake at all. Last is saying, I got pregnant out of wedlock and wouldn't give my baby up for adoption, so they threw me out. And see, that's the thing. Like my dad and his two sisters, same thing. They were raised Roman Catholic, and they all, hated God. Or more to the point, they thought God hated them, and didn't want to have anything to do with them. If that's the God that you're supposed to worship, count me out, is basically how they said. So I think that happened to a lot of people. They just, they saw what was happening and didn't put up with it, wouldn't take it anymore. It was easier to just believe in nothing than to believe in this vindictive God. Why is it that in every Catholic church I've been to, every picture I saw of Mary was sweet and motherly, but when I saw Jesus, he was on the cross? Yeah, they do really like to play up the pain and the agony that Jesus was in on the. I mean, yes, he was. He was he was nailed to a cross, and then his body weight hung him off of those nails. It was a horrible way to go. I get that, but he always looks, I don't know, so in pain and so anguished and angry that it makes me think, why, did this guy really, why would this guy want to bother dying for us, right? Jesus to me is not the man. What he did on the cross uh has made my life possible, and my chance at heaven possible. But when I think of Jesus, I don't picture him on the cross bleeding and in pain. I picture him standing on the mount, uh, just speaking to people, just teaching people. Um, the kind person who was able to multiply the fish and loaves of bread to feed the multitude. I don't know why the Catholics choose to fixate on his pain, and I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just weird. And I don't really think of Mary all that much. Like in the same way, like we don't, or we. I'll talk about me. I don't worship Mary. I don't know about any of the saints. There are no one that I consider to be a saint that I worship. Um, it's between me and Jesus and the big guy. And they're one anyways, but yeah, I don't really think about Mary over much, you know, over any more than, like, I don't, she is not more special than anyone else, you know. I think Jesus even said as much. His mother and brothers were not were no of no more importance than anyone else. Murphy's Law is saying my garden is finally done as of today. Now just to have water and weed till the stuff grows. See, now I'm feeling bad again. I live in BC. I live in the Okanagan Valley. It is beautiful agriculture. You can grow almost anything here. And I was saying earlier, I think before you guys rated, that I really should have the seeds going. I really should be ready to be putting stuff in the ground already. I inherited a huge plot of land that has sun almost all day. So I'm very, very excited, but I'm so excited with all the new stuff and all the new space that I've kind of stalled myself into doing nothing, you know? So I've really got to get on it because I'm pretty sure you're probably, wherever you are, Murphy's Law, you're probably further east than I am. So yeah, I've really got to get off my butt and do that. Tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah, maybe I'll do that tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, I need to get on that. Yeah, but yeah, because Mary gave birth to him, but I don't know that makes her, we're not supposed to worship anyone except God. So sounds like they have both of them contained though, so good news. That's good. Yeah, the wind is down, so it can't move as fast. That's the big thing here. Yeah, we're in the valley and the wind can really whip up. You never look up and ask God what next. He will show you. Sometimes I think I'm God's favorite squeaky toy. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I'm like right now I'm having a hard time. I feel like I'm not I know what I should be doing and saying, and yet I keep not doing and saying what I should be. And so yeah, I've been feeling a lot of guilt about that. At the end of the day, I know that the answer is I've got to start reading the Bible again daily. I need to start doing my the SDA church puts out a quarterly. Here we go. This is the quarterly we're on right now. Growing in a relationship with God, and it's mirrored. Well, either way, I mean, you guys don't really need to see it, but growing in a relationship with God. So I need to actually start doing this. I fell off of doing it during the last quarterly, and I haven't even cracked this one, honestly, which is not good. So I know the answer to my troubles is I've got to get back and start doing that. And I know that, and yet I end up finding a zillion things to fill the day, and I don't get to it. So I know things got to change, and I know how I've got to change them. It's just a matter of actually doing it. And every time I think of I'm going to do it, I end up not. So I'm feeling a little bit disheartened, but in myself, not in God. It's in me. Why is every picture of Jesus of him on the cross? It's almost like they forgot that he rose 3 days later, right? I like Viva too. Yeah, I don't know. Viva irks me. I've got a Canuck issue with him though. He was wealthy enough, and he had pull and reach, and he chose to take his family and run to the States rather than stay and fight to get Canada back on track. Now I understand in the grand scheme of things, if I was in his position, I may very well have made the same choice. He's got kids, got to live. But it really does bother me that we allow the country to get to this awful point, and then everyone who can afford to just up sticks and runs to a better place and leaves those of us who can't leave or don't want to leave in the mess. And there's no way for us to fix it. Wait until Bongino mutes you. Yeah, see, I don't really watch a whole lot of his stuff either. You're Central Time. Okay, so yeah. Mr. Q is Central as well. So, or yeah, Matthew. Yeah, I'm East Coast. I should be done planting before you guys start. Weather has been super crazy. Yeah. Even if you don't skate, you could still retaliate or relate. Yes. No, maybe so. How long ago? Oh, that was a half an hour ago. Good Lord. I'm sorry. Prioritize. I'm so far back. I'm not sure what you're talking about now. One Good Rain. Tried to watch Jeremy a few times. He bored the shit out of me. I've never watched his lives. But I really enjoyed his the shorter format, the 10 to 15 minute blurbs. I used to get my info from him and could go searching on it from there. So I'll hit the market to sell stuff. That's been taking small amounts. So, oh, nice. Lent never lets them forget. And see, that was definitely a half an hour ago. Mild raid. So thank you. Money doesn't change you, but it just gives you the freedom to show who you really are. And that's the truth. It's a lot easier to see who people really are when they've got the money to live however they could choose. One of them deserves a wood chipper. I won't put that on the screen, but there you go. Let's talk about how Alex Jones was right. He's right more often than he's wrong, and that's why I think he's controlled opposition. Or he's right as often as he's wrong would be more accurate. So yeah, I think they give him the stuff and the stories and tell him what to say. And sometimes it's true and sometimes it's not. However, they need the wind to blow, in my opinion. Oh, do a live. Oh, that would be cool. Murphy's Law and Jacob. Yes, Jacob Castro is always fun. Sorry, I've got a cat's ass and tail in my face. uh I tried to give Nick another chance with Curry Richard's case and Afroman case, but there was only a glimmer every once in a while of the old Tim. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't help for me. I've really um gotten away from LawTube because I'm doing a morning news show at the same time as most court cases are going on and being aired. So I'm actually live doing news at the same time as the court cases are happening. I have no idea who's covering what. I was looking forward to the OnlyFans, the blonde OnlyFans girl. I can't remember her name now, but she threw a knife, uh, threw a kitchen knife into her ginormous black bodybuilder um, boyfriend and lodged it deep into his chest and killed him. Yeah, but totally by accident and self defense. I really wanted to watch that case, but I wanted to watch it with Jeff. So, sticking up for some woman upset about a video game. It was really dumb. Okay. Oh, you be well, Outpost Nerd. I know that was like a half an hour ago, so you probably won't see it, but have a good one. The kitty almost looks like my Tinkerbell with my garden buddy kitty. Okay. I have a picture from last year of her on my shoulder while I was gardening. Well, if you look at there you go, Mr. Q. That is Misty Gray. Yes, that is Misty Gray. He takes her with him. He works on the farm and he takes her with him out on the farm. And yeah, takes her into the office and whatnot to share her with the girls in the office. We all love cats. That one who's been right here, that's Boo. That's the older of the two. Her mom was or is a purebred ragdoll cat, but she accidentally got out of the house one night. She was home the next morning, but when she had her litter, they all came out looking at her, like her, except for Boo. Boo looks like whatever father she found out there on her one illicit night. And so I got her, and she is absolutely awesome. And then I've also got Sweets, named after the character on Bones, and she is laying right beside me. She's got like tiger stripes. She's not orange, but she's got the stripes, and her belly is actually polka dot. So her stripes are in fact circles that are enlarging. It's very interesting. She's got interesting patterns. Okay. That trial was a joke, assumption of guilt. All this smoke and cloud cover, hope it's gonna be gone by 3 a.m. Yes. Oh, you guys get the northern lights again, you lucky son of a who. We never it's always overcast when the northern lights or something cool is happening in the sky. It always seems to be overcast here. Somebody fought in the minibus. We all wanted to know how many licks it would take to get to the center of Tootsie Pop, said the owl. I remember those commercials. I thought the Bible said, do not worship deities. Wouldn't Mother Mary be a deity? Well, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Um, Jesus' birthday or his death is in the Bible. And his death, you mean? I celebrate holidays with the traditional meal. I don't decorate or anything. Yeah, I get off easy. Most of my family lives in the lower mainland, the coast of BC or on Vancouver Island. I'm in the Okanagan. I'm in the middle of the province. So most of the traditional holidays, I just don't do. I don't celebrate. Like with Easter, there's no Easter dinner or big thing because it's just me. I've started trying to, or at least it's becoming more. It's dawning on me the actual meaning of Easter. It wasn't something that we ever celebrated as a secular family. Hello, my lovely. Hello, my boo. Easter was never a thing. So I just don't really celebrate at all, and it's easy for me. And now the other part of your question is, do you believe in the transubstantiation, where the Holy Ghost, Jesus Christ, and God are all three in one? Okay. Yes, I believe I believe in the Trinity. Well, no, see, and okay, there's another one where people have to get all hung up on terminology. I believe in the Holy Trinity. I believe in the Godhead. Now, apparently, if you're not Catholic and you say you believe in the Trinity, it's very, very bad. It's very, very bad. Not because you believe that there's the three of them and create the Godhead, but because you're using the word Trinity, which is apparently a Catholic term. So Trinity and the Godhead are the same thing. God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit working together as one. It's the same thing, exact same thing. But if you use the wrong word in front of the wrong group, you get in all sorts of trouble. And I've watched whole Bible studies go on for a couple of hours, and that's what they're arguing, whether it's a Godhead or the Trinity. And it's like, but both things mean the same thing. So who gives a shit what word you use, right? Like, in my opinion, it shouldn't matter, but apparently it does. Apparently it does. And people get really, really upset if you use the wrong word. But yes, I believe that in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. Yes. I think God is happy no matter what day we dedicate to Him. Pray every day and listen to the Bible. That way you cover all your bases. Right. I try and follow the Sabbath. And let me put an asterisk there, by attending church on the seventh day, because it's the only one of the 10 commandments that start with the word remember. And I think the reason God said, remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy, is because He knew people were going to argue over what day it was supposed to be. So because that's what I think. I went with the Sabbath that Jesus covers, or that Jesus kept. I will keep the same Sabbath as Jesus because I figure He knew best, and He happened to keep the seventh day Sabbath, which is sundown Friday to sundown Saturday. Now, yes, it is the Jewish Sabbath, but it was God's Sabbath in the beginning, long before Jews ever existed, long before Israel existed, long before any other people existed, the Sabbath existed. So I will follow Jesus because He knows God. But yes, it says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. In 6 days shall you do all your labor, but on the Sabbath day you shall rest, or on the seventh day you shall rest. So I try and do that. Now the asterisk is because I very much am guilty of being the get up and attend Sabbath school and the sermon and service. But then I go on about my day. I'm very guilty of not spending the whole day in God. That's one of the things that I know I should do, but I'm not doing. And as much as I, at the night before, say, okay, tomorrow will be better and tomorrow I'll do better, tomorrow comes and I end up not doing it. So that's, where I'm feeling guilty at the moment. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're right. I don't think God is gonna not take Catholics because they worshipped on a Sunday. Like, there's going to be plenty of Sunday worshipers in heaven, in my opinion. God will judge us on our actions and what we know to be true. So if you don't know, if you haven't learned and felt in your heart that the Sabbath is the seventh day, is Saturday, if that truth hasn't been impressed upon your heart by the time you die or the second coming, I don't think God is going to say, well, no, you worshiped on the wrong day, so you're not allowed in. I think He's going to understand that truth wasn't taught to you. You didn't know that truth. And so he's not going to hold you guilty for something you didn't know. Right. So that's my understanding. If you did know, if you did understand and you chose to ignore it, then he'll judge you, and as he should, right? That's why with pork, my understanding, after my studying with people and with the Bible, my understanding is that pork is not a good meat to eat. All these years later, pork isn't a good meat to eat, and so I don't. Now, if someone else eats pork and worships on a Saturday and everything like that, I don't think God is going to say, "No, you ate pork, you don't get to come in." If they don't understand the truth of the health message, or the, you know, um, he's not going to hold it against them. So do your best, and as you learn a thing, don't do the opposite, right? When you learn a truth, like I it was impressed upon me and I understood that pork is no good, so I just don't eat pork now. Now, if I understood that pork is no good and I went, well, just this once I can have, you know, that's not following God's law, and he will judge me harshly for it. Um, you know, I think that's how he works. You dig down 45 feet. My yard was on fire about 6 weeks ago. Seems someone flicked a cigarette out. Oh, goodness. Already, eh? Yeah, you dig down 4 to 6 feet around here. You're going to hit water damn near anywhere. Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. So, a fire break is going to have water at the base of it too. That's a bonus. I went to market to sell, came home, had Italian hoagie, nice, homemade, and a beer, and took a nap. Neighbor was banging on my door. Woke up like, what the? Well, it sounds like you had a nice day, though. My father was Catholic. My mother was Missouri St. Lutheran. So believe me when I tell you, I know. And then the neighbor tells you your yard's on fire. Had the wind not been blowing the way it was, you're pretty sure your house would have caught fire. See, there you go. Yeah, I picture Jesus hugging people. I want to think about that, right? Right? I know what he did. I know what he did for us up on that cross. But when I think of him, I want to think of him doing all the wonderful things that he did, um, to help, to heal, to feed, to teach, you know? Catholics like to use guilt, lots of burning and brimstone if you don't follow the rules. That's what my aunt said. Yeah, they really do focus on that, especially Easter, because Jesus gave his life for your sins, right? And so be it. If that's their understanding and their belief, I don't think, even if I think they have been misled, um, I don't think God's going to hold them at fault for going to church on the wrong day. If you know, but that's just me. I don't think. I think, yeah. There's just so much that we're going to be judged on. I don't think God is going to judge us on the things we don't know. We're screwing up on more than enough stuff that we do know about. Hello, Roy Rat. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. 100% believe in the historical person Yeshua, but not the religion stuff about him. See, there you go. I proved myself through my love of history and ancient writings. I proved to myself that Jesus was a real man who did walk the earth. He did exist. And that he did die and rise again 3 days later. I proved that. I proved that he was walking around, and to me at that point, I was like, well, okay, so if he really was this guy, and if he's really, he did this, if this thing happened, well, then the rest of that story, why would I think they'd tell the truth on that and the rest of it would be false? So at that point, I had to take it on faith. And this is a conversation I'm having with someone else. At some point, you're going to have to just take it on faith. what you believe. There is no 100% pure proof that this is correct. At some point, you're going to have to take it on faith. And once I proved that Jesus walked the earth and all that they said he did actually happened, I had to take that and say, well, okay, now if that's true, and if everything that he had to say was backing up the Old Testament, and clarifying things in the Old Testament, that must be true too. And if that's true, well, shit, that means that God is true, God is real, and made the world in 7 days, and so on and so forth. Now, up until that point, I always knew that there was a creator, because the world and the systems within it are just too intricate and precise and delicate and perfect, for there not to be someone to create it all. But I slowly just kept taking those steps, and at some point I had to take it on faith, that the Bible is true and what it says in there is true. And so if that's it, then I have to start learning from the Bible and see what it's telling me. I don't want to learn from other people. You have to learn from yourself. And that's something I haven't been doing. I haven't been spending my time with Jesus. And I think that's probably why I'm having all the troubles that I'm having. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I am not doing what I should be doing, which is spending time with Jesus. Just do an hour a day. And see, I used to do an hour a day, and I'd read the Holy Bible every night when I got into bed. I'd pray, I'd read the Bible, then I could put it down and go to sleep. I used to do it. Life gets in the way, the world gets in the way, and it slid. I let it slide. So I've really got to get back on top of it and start doing my studies in the morning and that sort of thing. But like I said, I know what I should be doing, and I end up not doing what I know I should be doing. So that's where I'm like, well, God, why would you even bother with me? I know what I should be doing, and yet I don't do it every day. I know what I should do, but I don't do it. Why would you even bother to save me? And apparently he wants to save me because he loves me, and he loves me even in my faults. But some days it's hard to believe that and to understand that. Sometimes in my life I go, yeah, but really? Because I'm so awful. Thank you. Yes, Roy Rat. BC is beautiful. You loved it up there along the Yukon. Yes. I have family, or I had family. They've since passed in the Yukon. And that was always my idea. When the shit hits the fan, I'm just going to keep heading up north. I'm in the Okanagan, so I'm in the middle of BC. I can just keep heading up north and go as far as the Yukon if I need to. But I'm just going to keep heading in that direction, because it's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous here. I love it. I could have moved back to the coast, where all my friends and family live, years ago, when a job I was doing up here ended. I could have gone back, but I chose to stay here because the weather is so great. It's so much better for my health. I've got health issues, and the weather out here is so much better for me. And it just makes me happier. It's so beautiful. I love it. I love it, love it. I'm one with nature when I went in the gardens, says Murphy's Law. I'm the same way. I love to dig in the dirt. Yeah. I'm the grumpy monkey. Yes. Yeah, I'm Canadian cool. Mr. Q says, my church gives all of their members daily Bible verse calendar thingy. Every year we pay them to get them printed. And yeah, it's kind of expensive. Well, yeah, these are, they're called the quarterly. The Seventh-day Church has been doing it forever. And they pick a topic, and then they break it down into, there's daily lessons. And then on the Sabbath afternoon, is when you kind of start the next week's topics. So it's kind of a brief overview of what you're going to be covering in the next week. Um, it does help, and it makes you go through the Bible. You're actually looking for verses. Um you're finding out the answers to the questions. You're proving it out with the Bible yourself. You're not just listening to someone tell you what to think. They're asking the questions, and then you have to go out and actually look in the Bible and find the answers yourself. They'll give you prompts, of some things, but it's really nice because it does actually make me use my Bible myself, and I'm not just absorbing what someone's dishing out. I'm proving it to myself. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. Q, no worries. You had the funeral passage picked out. I just agreed with you. And it's tough. Yeah, I never did have the kids I wanted. And I can't imagine losing a child. So, yeah, that was on you, dude. I'm happy to have been there to help. Oh, Bongino's had a change in moderator team lately for that reason. Okay. Well, shit, I just got booted from my own channel or for my own stream. That's funny. I was scrolling. I was not pushing any buttons. But anyways. Oh, shit. Um Oh, hello, Dom. How you doing? Sorry, I'm really behind in chat as per usual. uh My husband likes the show Bones. Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Um, and the spots, polka dots. Yeah, her tummy with the polka dots is awesome. Even overcast, get out in it. The solar energy during the geomag storms is good for us. Okay. Okay. I just never bother because you're just looking up at clouds. I never get to see any of the cool stuff going on. But okay, I will try and make a point of that. Especially the R class geostorms. There's a lot going on in our yeah, there's a lot going on with the sun in particular these days. Yeah. And Murphy's Law, I was in Ontario. You loved it. Yeah, I've got family out in Toronto as well. Most of my family, on both sides, uh, they came out west and they discovered BC. They developed a lot of the small towns and larger towns in BC. My family had a hand in helping to grow, not necessarily big, rich, important people, but just they were there. They were the people who were there. My granddad and his brothers built the building in 100 Mile House that used to be the A&W. The building is still there. It's not an A&W anymore, though. But yeah, that was like the first brick building or something built in 100 Mile House. So my family has really been in BC there for our entire existence. Yeah, the decorations of the holidays suck, having to change everything every 2 months. I know. I love it. I actually put out Christmas decorations this year because I felt a little bad streaming with people who had Christmas stuff up, and I was this. So I pulled out some Christmas decorations, but it really wasn't much. It's nice to not have to bother about it. I say both the Nicene Creed and the Apostles' Creed before I take communion. So what does that make me? See, and I have not taken communion yet. Mostly because I attend an online church. My social anxiety, depression, and all that kept me locked up in my little apartment. The last few years I've been making huge strides. I've gotten my passport. Now I've just got to save the money. so I can actually make the trip to the States to visit a lot of these friends I've made, which, yes, feel free. The ticker on the bottom or pinned to the chats. If you got a buck or two you want to throw my way, I will always appreciate it. But yeah, I've really, my world has opened up a lot, but for a very long time I wouldn't leave my house for anything but appointments. So I've been attending an online church for years and years, like probably nearing a decade now. Make some split pea soup, maybe some bean and ham soup as well. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, see, I'm not allowed to. I love bacon. I do, but I've been made to understood within my heart that pork isn't good, so I don't. And it made things tough at first. But at the end of the day, it's not that much more of a hardship than quitting smoking was. I cheated over this last week because I was helping friends and I was stuck with a smoker who smokes all the time. So yeah, I did cheat. So I'm quitting again. But it's, yeah, there are things that God has impressed upon me to do, and those things I have done. And unfortunately, bacon was one of them. But yeah, bean and ham soup was good. I don't like split pea soup. That's the texture of the peas, the graininess. I don't like that. But I do miss ham. I do miss bacon. Holy Ghost get Mary pregnant or not? No, the Holy Ghost didn't get her pregnant. He well, I guess see, I don't know, because there's no, you say pregnant and I think fornication to make the baby. There was none of that. There's none of the icky, sweaty, you know, panting human sex to creation of Jesus. I don't, it's, so I don't know. I guess I just go by the thought. So I don't know. I was told Jesus wasn't crucified in the spring, so I go with that. Helps keeping the children out of the yard. No, he was. He was. You can tell in the Bible and in contemporary writings, which is writings from the same time, but from people other than the Bible, from sources other than the Bible. It all happened on the Passover weekend, so it definitely happened in spring. He was hung on the cross on the Friday, which is why the women, when he died, the women took his body down. It was about midday. They took his body down and they began preparing his body to be, buried. But because the sun was setting and it was becoming Sabbath, right? Sundown Friday to sundown Saturday is the Sabbath. They couldn't finish preparing his body. So they put him in a tomb that had been prepared for someone else. They put him in there until after the Sabbath was over, so that they could come back and then on the Sunday morning resume preparing his body. However, when they came back on the Sunday morning, he wasn't there because he'd risen, right? So it all definitely happened in Easter weekend, the Passover weekend. So I forget about Easter. Easter, again, is a Catholic term, and some people really don't like that. But Passover was when he was crucified. So definitely spring. But he wasn't born in the middle of December. He was definitely not born in the middle of December. So Christmas, the whole Christmas thing is a farce, completely built out of pagan beliefs. So my Sabbath day is Monday, says Atomic Ray. Only day that doesn't have religious overtones shoved in my face. There you go. Mr. Q says, I need a bacon and alcohol, so I'm a sinner. May the Lord forgive me. Well, and see, he hasn't impressed upon you the fact that bacon is a no-no. And I mean, that's the thing too. I drink more recently than I normally do. But I drink. It hasn't been impressed upon me that is something that I need to change in my life. quitting smoking was. And it took me a long time to finally be able to do it. But I did. And it was, because I knew that that was something that God wanted me to do. I had to quit smoking. And for me, quitting pork was the same thing. Thursday is my alt Sabbath. Very anti-Semitic to tell people it's okay to eat pork. Anti-Semitic is such a misused term. Jews are not the only Semitic people. My 2 cents, if God didn't want us to eat bacon, he wouldn't have made it so delicious. See, there you go. And for a very long time, that's how I felt too. But I'm not going to force you to not eat pork just because it's been impressed upon me that it's something that I shouldn't do. I'm not going to force you to not do it. Go ahead. In fact, I keep telling Johnny in the long run, it works better for him because that means he gets to eat all the pork. He gets to eat all the bacon. There's twice as much bacon, and he gets to have all of it. So really, yeah, just believe and try to be a decent person. How about that? Well, and that's, at the end of the day, to really simplify it, that's just it. Read the Bible, believe the Bible, and try and follow it. And then as long as you try to be as good a person as possible by following the Bible, I mean, what more can you do? We're sinful people and he knows it. I was made of the dust of the stars. The dust of the stars makes my conscious thoughts in a process of physics that is wondrous. Yes, but who created that system? There has to be a creator to create that dust, that system that plugs you into, like, who created the physics? Dom is saying, I don't think God cares about what you want. So if you want to think of one thing or another, God does not care. Okay. Right. I don't think he gives us the freedom to choose. But yeah, I don't think he cares about what we want. He just hopes we do as he would like. I live in heaven and paradise every day I go outside. My dead meat casing will provide everlasting life to infinite generations of critters. Proof everlasting life. I am redeemed and enlightened. There you go. And yeah, see, that's as far as I went for a long time. That was fine. That was more than enough for my belief system for a very long time. I just, like I said, ended up proving Jesus, which then made me go and end up proving that the Bible was correct. Or I proved to myself, I took the leap of faith that what is in the Bible is correct. And then I started studying the Bible, and my understanding of the lessons within there, I'm trying to make the changes. And I haven't been doing so good at it lately, but Hello, Red Scoper. How you doing? I like to think that all afterlives exist at once, but that's because I read the Percy Jackson books as a kid. Okay. Well, and see, I would really like to think I like the idea of a billion different timelines with just slight changes, slight differences. And I like the idea that CERN turned on and pushed us out of our original timeline and into a new timeline. And that's when the whole world started going fucky. I like that idea. I have fun playing with that idea and that theory. I ended up getting myself to the point where I believe the Bible, which meant now I have to, because I believe it, now I have to follow it, right? But yeah, I like the idea of there being a multitude different timelines when we're all there, just something slightly different in each, I love that idea. So interesting, so fun to think of jumping from timeline to timeline. There was a show, Quantum Leap, years ago, Quantum Leap, and it was a lot of fun. They just kept jumping timelines, trying to get back to their original one. I love having religious arguments with people up to a certain point. I don't like my own church's Bible study, but anybody else I will talk to freely. Well, yeah, I really enjoy these discussions about the Bible and the different belief systems um and all that. It's great conversation. And whether no matter what your own personal belief system is, it's good to hear other perspectives and put them to the test. So even if you decide that that's not the truth that you believe in, uh, going through that helps strengthen your faith in the Bible or in whatever else, in my opinion. Um, I do religious scholarly stuff is one of my tisms. Yeshua was very likely a real dude. The actual history during the lifetime of Yeshua as well, right? And the things going on in world history um, during the time, those 30 and a half years, during that time, there were massive changes and happening in the world, so taking Jesus and his life out of it, there were so many other things happening at that time. Um, it's yeah, it's really entertaining. It's very interesting. And a lot of people don't they forget to look at the world, like they take the Bible and what Jesus was saying and stuff, but they forget that he's talking to the people in the language that they understand, in terminology like farming and shepherds and that sort of thing, because that's what the people mainly were. And so that's what those were things that they understood. Um, if he came and was talking to us today, he would give us lessons using different terminology. It would be the same lesson, but he wouldn't be talking in farm language. He would be talking, well, I don't know, computer talk. I don't know what but you know what I mean. So yeah, people forget that the world was happening and going on all around him. Jesus is dead. What are you, Digger Lennon? God walks this earth. Um, Jesus died and rose again, and then he went up to heaven. Now he and God are in heaven. From my understanding, God's not walking this earth. Um, and Jesus isn't at the moment either, not since he was resurrected and brought up. From my understanding, between catechism and jail, I've read the Bible more than enough. There you go. He was born during the reign of Caesar Augustus, yes, and died during the reign of Tiberius. And a few decades later, the Romans leveled the temple in Jerusalem in 70 AD. Right? There's a whole lot of shit going on in the world during that time. My favorite place in BC is Liard Hot Springs. It's a stinky one. It's such a wonderful place. Want to go back after the free Western provinces are all up and running, right? Yes, that's my ideal. I think we'd be in a much better position if we became the new country of Western Canada. That would be lovely. Liard Hot Springs specifically. Okay. Do. Oh, BC. Oh, Fort nearest is Fort Nelson. Okay, okay. Yes, it starts to get whiffy up that way. I do remember that. um the Great Schism, something to study regarding Catholicism that is very important in understanding where we are at geopolitically today. This is a Great Schism. Okay. Great Schism. I'm reading Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Pacific. I read books for 2 hours, different books, and right now we're reading The Great Controversy, which is written by Ellen G. White. Some people consider her a non-canonical prophet, and I don't know. I've never read her stuff, so now I'm reading it for everyone, so we can all learn her stuff together. So I can make my mind up. But yeah, the Great Controversy, and then I'll write down Great Schism. Okay, I will look for that one. Legal Vice has got me listening to Stan Rogers. Northwest Passage is so good, right? And that's my family. That's my most recent ancestors, um, grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents. My family did that. BC. We were trappers and ranchers and uh, what was the Kelowna airport. My family had a big hand in it coming into existence in the first place, and yeah, we built a lot of the towns out here. It's really great, and the Northwest Passage is such a great story, and yeah, that's what I think of when I think of my ancestors. It's just discovering the wildness that is the West. Speaking of thanks to the temple, time for me to get outside and watch the sunset. Get me some of that coronal hole particle energy. Fair enough. Have a great one, Roy Rat. It was really good to see you. It's been a minute. It's nice to see you. Taking communion is very important. I know I've got to take communion and do the washing of the feet. I haven't been baptized either, and that's kind of the next thing. That's the thing I'm that's being impressed upon me now. It's the baptism thing. That's a whole nother fear and anxiety and thing. God is the Holy Ghost, hence virgin birth, because the Holy Ghost is also God and Jesus. That's 3 in 1, like the clover leaf or the banana peel if you're in Southern America. Okay. Not what my theology professor showed me. No way would the Jews have Jesus crucified during Passover, according to the Talmud. I'd have to, but that was the big. I'd have to go back into the Bible and go looking to find the passages. Comic Ray, eh? I'm on this side now. Oh, sorry, dead air. Okay, Bible verses proving Jesus died on the Passover. I will try and get on that and have some verses for you, Atomic Ray. Because I can't quote. I don't know my Bible that well. I can't quote chapter and verse, the different books. I can't do that. Parasite trials held in the fall. Okay, I've not heard of that. Okay, I've never heard of those parasite trials. Most criminals were beheaded, and that happened frequently. The crucifixions were for heinous crimes like family murder. Yeah. Hello, MSO. How you doing? Last watched Quantum Leap. It was a great show, right? Buck also loved Quantum Leap. Sam never went home. He kept leaping. Yeah, I know. I rewatched that series. My late 20s, I rewatched that. Early 30s. The whole series, start to finish. It was so great. Sam learned the following. 1, he was the first of many leapers. 2, God and or fate wasn't responsible for his leaping. 3, he was responsible for his leaping, but didn't seem to accept it. It really was a great show. It really was. I loved that show. Wild is saying it's time for bed at the old folks ranch. Thank you, Wild. I had a great time hanging out with you today. It is, I mean, as Boo here is telling me right now, I'm already 13 minutes over. They're starving, God forbid they wait. Hello, Tammy. Good to see you too. Stop by to smack the thumbs up. Well, I appreciate it. Good to see you, Tammy. Off to the bio break and mod duty. Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. Jesus died at a day and time of his choosing, and the Romans crucified him. Not in the Bible, the Talmud. Well, yeah, because the Talmud ends, the Septuagint was part of the Talmud. There's a program, an online program called eSword like the letter E sword, which is a really great app for me to help comparing and contrasting, that sort of thing. But yeah, the Talmud ends before before Jesus. I don't think there are religious exemptions. I don't think. But on that note, yes, I am very late at feeding the kitties, and so I will let you kids go. I will be back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can add your hours from there. But I will be back, and we'll be reading more of the Great Controversy. We're starting the French Revolution, or not Reformation, French Reformation. And so that'll be loads of fun if you like history. So thank you so much. And we'll see you in the morning. Boo says bye. Now feed me, woman.
Log in, late night, same chair, same spot. Screen glow, halo, chat's running hot. She flips to page 3, then dives off the plot. Let's talk about the Lizard Kings again. Tim for crown, sitting proud on her head. Says it helps keep out the thought police thread. But she laughs so hard that it slips instead. Who walks past like, here we go, my friend. Welcome to Digger's Chatterbox. Hey. Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox. Sweets is asleep on the unread stack. Camera zooms in, chats typing in caps. Show us the cover, what's that in the back? She grins, it's classified. Or maybe it's trash. She's got red string charts that we can't quite see. Swears the plot twist lives on page 203. Then she stops mid-rant. Did you hear that beep? It's just a follow ping, but we all lean in. Welcome to Digger's Chatterbox. Hey. Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox. Is it all in our heads or a hidden code? Are we chasing our tails or the mother lode? She says, think for yourself, that's the only law. Then Boo hits the mic with a perfect misbrew. Welcome to Digger's Chatterbox. Hey. Pull up a chair, let your weird thoughts talk. From dusty old books to the sky that watches. She's under that shiny hat, unlocking all the boxes. Digger 420 on your screen non-stop. This is Digger's Chatterbox.
Because,